Bum ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, 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 ba-dum. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Oh, it is 8 o'clock, and it's time for our Monday mini medicine card readings. Just letting the curtain back so that we don't see the man behind the curtain. So, whoops, that didn't mean to happen either. There we go. Hey everybody, I am just getting set up here for our Monday mini medicine card readings. So come on in, join the party. Got my little companion here, Kira, who refuses to eat her food on the floor. She likes to eat at the table. I was going to say like the rest of us, but I usually eat mine on the couch watching TV. So anyway, so welcome in. This is Patrick. Come on in. Take a load off as I'm getting set up. I actually got home. I was doing readings all day like normal on Monday at Crescent Moon Gifts in Tacoma. So I was doing readings all day, and then I got to come home so I can do readings for you, and then I fall asleep. I thought, hey, cool, I've got a half hour. I can watch a little. I was rewatching the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus because I love archery. I fell asleep. Luckily, I set my alarm to wake me up, but of course I hit snooze. So anyway, long story short, we're here. I am getting set up, getting my candle lit, and getting the cards. So, if you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Patrick, and I will be your friendly neighborhood shaman for the evening. And we are going to read some cards on this Solstice Eve, the longest night of the year. Starting tomorrow, the days start to get longer again. And I can't wait. Okay, so I'm going to light some sage so I can smudge my cards. Been using them all day, had quite a few readings today. And, you know, if you're new here, or even if you're not, if you enjoy this, know that I am available for personal readings. Like today on Mondays, I am in Tacoma at Crescent Moon Gifts. And on Wednesday, Fridays, and then second and fourth Saturdays, I need a little bit of that, I am at Four Sisters Holistic Remedies in Renton. That's where my little office is. That's where I do my shamanic magic. So come and see me sometime on one of those days from 11 to 5, Wednesdays and Fridays in downtown Renton, or Mondays at Crescent Moon in Tacoma, or possibly other times I do Zoom calls as well. So I'm just kind of rambling while I am smudging my cards, clearing them from the day so they're nice and fresh and clean. for us this evening. So if you're new here, what we do, I am going to pull 3 cards from the lovely medicine card deck with all the animal totems. Each card has a different animal, and so I have always, being a shaman, you know, and I've always been more connected to the animal kingdom, so it makes more sense for me to do readings with the animals rather than like with the tarot or any of the other things, because the cards are just kind of a jumping off place. It's like an interface. It's kind of like the common ground between whoever I'm reading for and me. Gives the person getting the reading something to focus on. It kind of grounds the reading, and it gives me a launching pad to reach into the spirit realm and connect with the spirit of those animals to find out what the messages are specifically for that person. So if that sounds interesting to you, tonight we're just going to pull 3 cards and you're going to choose a number, and whatever card corresponds to the number you chose between 1 and 3, or 2 cards or 3 cards, it's all good. Then I will read each of those 3 cards, whichever one corresponds with the number you chose. That is the spirit animal guide that has chosen to walk with you this week, to give you its guidance and its wisdom and strength. And if we have time at the end, because I tend to be a little bit verbose, and I could probably talk about a single card for at least an hour. But if I am not too loquacious, and there's time at the end, we're going to do a little, I'll have to go fetch my drum if it comes to that, but we're going to do a little guided journey to meet whichever animal chose to walk with you this week, so that you can get your personal message right from the source. So that it's not just hearsay from me, it's not just secondhand knowledge. You get to hear it from that animal personally. And so, anything else I need to say? So that's what we do. So pick a number between 1 and 3, or a couple of numbers, or 3, all 3 of them. Don't make me no, never mind. And we will see which animal guides are coming out to play tonight on this special solstice eve. We'll see which animals are gonna guide us into the dawning light, the birth of the sun. All right. All righty. Okay, so have you got your numbers chosen? Oh, my leg itches, sorry. So number 1, if 1 is the card you chose, you got the blue heron. Heron is one of my favorites. Heron is just, everything they do is so graceful. I just, when I, as I say that, I keep thinking back to a time I was at a local park, and it was like, there's a pond in the middle, and there was a heron there, and the heron came up onto the bank and just started kind of, I don't know if running is the right word, but just started moving and spread her wings and took off. And it was the most graceful thing I have ever seen. So heron brings in grace, moving with grace. Everything you do, whether you realize it or not, is you do it in a graceful manner. Heron is, the main thing about heron is stillness. Heron is one of the greatest hunters in the world, but he doesn't stalk his prey like other animals do. His prey comes to him because he stands in the water, feet in the mud, in the earth, so he's well grounded, and then those long, skinny legs lift him above the water. And so it's almost like they're tall, and like, so feet in the earth, head in the sky, so they're like that bridge between heaven and earth. And he stands in the water, very still. Doesn't make extra waves. His legs are so skinny that even if there are waves in the water, he doesn't contribute much to the waves in the water. And it's kind of like that Alan Watts quote about, he said, like, you can't flatten waves with a flat iron. All you do is add to the waves, right? And so the only way to find stillness, to how do I put this? In order to allow the waves around you to still, you have to stand in stillness. And the water around you will find its own level, will find its own stillness. You can't force it. You can't push the river. You can't try to flatten the waves. It has to return to its natural state. And so heron, by standing still and without adding to the ripples or the waves in the pond, allows the pond to still around him. And as he stands there, he casts his shadow on the water. And it's the coolness of his shadow that draw the fish to him. You know, the fish are attracted to the coolness in his shadow, and so they come to him. And so that's the one thing. It's like by being still and allowing what you need to come to you rather than chasing it. Be in your power. Stand like heron above the water without creating waves, and allowing what you need to come to you. That's why he's got those long legs to hold him above the water so that he can look down at the surface without creating waves or confusion, you know, stirring up more mud from the bottom, or to make the water more cloudy and mucky. He needs the water to be still so he can see into it. And if you've ever, hey Kit Kat, come on up, looked at your reflection in the water, you see, like, it's by looking into your shadow that you can see below the surface of the water, right? And so it's a big part of Heron medicine is about self-reflection and looking into your shadow, because it's in your shadow, the shadow that allows you to see below the surface. If you're trying to look below the surface of the water and your shadow's behind you, you're gonna just get the light glinting off the surface of the water. You need to look through your, and same when you're like looking through a window or something. When you're looking through, you have to kind of shade, make a patch of shadow on the window so you can see through it. Otherwise, you have the light reflecting off of it and you can't see as clearly. So that is the message of Heron, is looking into your shadow, looking into your reflection. Bye, Kit Kat. And in that way, seeing more clearly what's below the surface. And it's by looking into your shadow that you get what nourishes you. There is nothing in your shadow that there's nothing in your shadow to fear. There is nothing in your shadow that can threaten you. The shadow, the darkness, is the creative principle of the universe. We always go toward the light. We emphasize the light, but it's in the dark of the shadow that creation happens, because the darkness is great mystery. It's the unknown, because we can't see through it to see what's on the other side. And the thing is that part of the reason we can't see to the other side is because we're the ones who choose what's on the other side. We create what lies ahead, and so it's dark because we haven't decided which reality we're pulling out of the dark to bring into the light. Does that make sense? And so darkness is a gift. It's because it's the unknown, it's adventure, it's exciting, it's what am I going to do now? And it brings that power back to you, just like Heron standing in his power and looking into his shadow. It's like, that's where the fish are. He can't see the fish out around someplace. They're in his shadow, and they are drawn to his shadow because of the coolness. And so being in your power, you draw everything to you that you need. Anything else, Heron? And one of the, we have weird dichotomies in our society, different mindsets where, it's an either or. You're either slow or you're fast. You're either still or you're active. But Heron embodies both, because he might stand in stillness. He can stand still for hours. And even when he moves very gracefully and very slowly. And when a fish comes up and is within range, it's like an arrow shot from 0 to 200 miles an hour in 0 seconds flat. So don't worry about being able to move. It's like from the stillness, being the eye of the storm, and from that stillness, you have more options than if you're moving. You have more directions you can go in. You have, it's about centering and connecting yourself, heaven and earth. All your chakras in alignment, your higher chakras, your crown chakra that connects you to the divine, your root chakra that connects you to the earth, and everything in between in perfect alignment. And it's from that center that you move. like Tai Chi. I used to take Tai Chi. One of the things I'd like to do in the coming year is re-explore Tai Chi again. But one of the things I've learned from Tai Chi is that, you know, it's about wheels within wheels. And there's the motion of your arms and your legs or whatever, but it comes from stillness. This is your center, this is your stillness, and from that stillness, everything else moves. And so it's in that stillness that all things are possible. And, you know, it was from the crane, who's related to Heron, that, you know, the karate, the crane method, form of karate came when a monk saw a crane fending off a tiger. This tiger was attacking a crane, and the crane was countering the tiger with every move. So it was all defensive. It wasn't, the crane wasn't trying to win, the crane was just trying to live. But it was that motion coming from stillness to, and by moving from that center and having the wheels within wheels, the wings and the feet, etc., it was impenetrable. So from that stillness, you can do all things. It's from that 0 point that all things are possible. So be still. Seek solitude. Heron is a very solitary animal. They only come together at times like to mate, etc. Otherwise, they're pretty independent, self-contained. So if you're feeling torn and pushed and pulled by society at large, by obligations, seek solitude, seek stillness. Just sit for an hour. Every day if you can, but even just to sit in stillness for a little time. Find a river, go out, find a tree to lean against, and just to sit in the quiet, the stillness, and allow the storm around you to blow itself out and come to stillness. Okay, so that was Herod. Number 2. 2 is your card. You got the horse. Horse is freedom. Horse is power. Horse is expansion. Horse, I like to think of as the original internet. You know, it was horse that allowed us to go from isolated villages to bigger and bigger communities. Horse is the one that opened trade routes, that opened communication between diverse peoples and societies and such. And so horse kind of has that, I was getting an image of Hermes, the god Hermes, Greek god Hermes, who was the god of communication, the god of commerce, because he was the fastest. He's the one with the wings on his heels, and he could go anywhere, including the underworld. He was the only god, the only one who could go from the underworld to Olympus without having to pay the ferryman. And so his reach was infinite. He could go anywhere, and very fast, mercurial. You know, Mercury was the Roman the Roman version of Hermes, and so horse kind of envelops that connection to others, the communication, the expansion. If this is your card, chances are your world is getting ready to expand. You're getting ready to open up into new horizons, to go beyond. You're like outgrowing your comfort zones, and horse is here to carry you into the unknown, into further adventures outside what you've known before. But it is doing it in a very powerful way. Horse is also like your personal power. Cars today are still even judged by horsepower, right? So horse is about power. And what's really interesting is, so they're these big, powerful animals, right? But rather than being fierce, all that power is gentle, you know. I think I've mentioned this before, but like we have our heart. When our heart beats, it there's like an energy field around our heart, and it goes out just so far. But a horse's heart is bigger and has a bigger energy field around it. And so when we're by horses, like when you're with a horse or on a horse, we entrain to their energy, we entrain to their power. That's why for a lot of people, I know some people are scared of horses and that kind of thing, but for the most part, just being around horses is a very calming thing, because they exist, they're powerful, but they're gentle. That's why the different equine therapies exist for like people with PTSD and veterans and disabled people. Being around horses actually helps them to get in touch with their own pure primal selves, because they can short circuit the triggers and the different traumas that might be coming up, and so they give people the strength to face those traumas, to heal those things, because they allow people to feel their own power for the first time, possibly ever. So horse is here to bring you that power, you know, not the power like we tend to think of it. There's a difference between power and force. And this is bringing you your power and the freedom of movement that comes with that power. You know, just like Heron, the stillness gives Heron the freedom to move in any direction, to grab exactly what he needs at any moment. And horse, with that power, allows you to run in any direction. You know, horses need to run. It's who they are. If they're not running, they will get sick. And so if this is your card, it's like helping you to move toward who you came here to be in this lifetime, what purpose you came here to serve. Because when we start moving toward our purpose, we start moving toward, you know, like Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. That is your compass. That is how you find your purpose. Excuse me. It's those things that bring us joy. You know, it's the things that we do where we get done and we're just like, oh, and we're buzzing, or we're just, again, that calmness. Power brings calm. It's not about overpowering. It's not about being fierce and you know, spreading fear to your enemies. It's about being. It's about embodying that powerful spirit that you are. So when we align with that spirit, that spirit, just like horse, will carry us. It's effortless. You don't have to get there on your own. When you're moving toward your joy, like when you start to do something that you get lost in, and hours can go by, and all of a sudden you look back like, holy crap, that is spirit carrying you. It's effortless. And so horse is here to help carry you into those places that bring you joy. I mean, just think about the beauty of a horse running across the plains, right? How beautiful it is, how perfect it is. That's what horses are here to do. That is their purpose. That's what they are born to do. And when you see that and you feel that exhilaration, that is you touching into your own power, into your own essence, reminding you of what it's meant, what this life is meant to feel like, how you are meant to be in this world, okay? So expand without fear. Expand again with the sense of adventure, with that curiosity to see, ooh, what is beyond that horizon? Oh, I wonder who lives over there, or, oh, that's a nice little path through the woods. Let's go that way because I've got my trusty steed underneath me and I know that he can take me to safety if there's anything that threatens me. So it's like you have that power within you that you can venture forward without fear, but for the excitement of exploration. Do something exciting. Do something you have never done before. Think about who it was you wanted to be when you grew up and do that. Take a step toward that. Or if you've ever wanted to paint and you haven't, do that. If you wanted to dance, take a dance class. Whatever it is that's exciting, there might be fear there because you've not done it before. And we have that fear of failure and that fear of, oh my God, I'm not going to be any good at that. But like my philosophy prof in college used to say, this was one of my favorite things that he would say, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing poorly. If it's worth learning how to dance, it's worth falling down a few times on the way to getting that expertise. We can't start out as experts and professionals right away. It's worth taking a tumble because those are how you learn how to stay standing. And so if it's worth becoming that person, then it's worth going through whatever stands between you and the fulfillment of that vision. Okay? All right, so number 3. We're on 3 already. 3 is the wolf. If that's your card, you are a teacher. It doesn't mean you're up in front of a classroom and have formal students, but if that's your card, you are a head of the pack. You're a scout. You're one of the ones who ventures into the unknown. There's a lot here about the unknown, about the adventure and the excitement of the unknown. But the wolf pack always has those scouts that travel out ahead of the pack to get the lay of the land, to find out what are the best paths for the pack to follow to get wherever they're headed. And so that's you. You may feel like you don't fit in. You may feel silly about the things you enjoy. But rather than using those things to judge yourself, oh my God, I'm so different, why can't I be like everyone else? Celebrate your uniqueness. Know that the things that you enjoy, that is your God-given compass. Like I said with horse, it's following our joy that we find our purpose. And so whatever it is that you enjoy doing, especially in this context on a spiritual path, you're the ones who have had the courage to go to unknown territory, to go down these paths that, most of us were raised in Christian or, Judeo-Christian households where the rules are very strict and the path is very narrow. And you are one of the ones who has had the courage to venture off that main path, to say, ooh, what's in the woods over there? And to explore and to find out and to learn who you are by going toward what you are drawn toward, what makes your heart sing, what excites you. And by doing that, you are providing a great service to the bigger community, to your pack, because by venturing forth into the unknown, you are making that safe. You are trailblazing, going into the unknown to come back to the pack, to tell them, okay, you can go this way. I've been there. It's okay. And so that's how you are a teacher. Even if don't have a classroom with students, you still teach people by your example and by that courage to be able to go into the unknown and face the unknown and I keep coming up with the idea of excitement and adventure. That is what you do, and so you make it safe for others to venture into these unknown territories because they know that someone else has already been there. And by the time they get there, you're like a whole nother mountain range ahead of the pack again, venturing in. And I'm getting images of it, like the geese. You know how geese fly in the V formation? And it's like the goose in the front is taking most of the brunt of the resistance, the wind resistance, etc., and creating that V shape in its wake, which makes it easier for the geese behind them to fly. The ones behind them don't have as much resistance. That's what you are. You're the point person, venturing into the unknown, exploring territories that others don't even realize exist. Exploring territories that others seemingly have no interest in. But as soon as you go there and you come back and you can talk about these things with that passion of following your joy, if someone's talking passionately about something, I don't care what it is. I could listen to them for hours. And so bringing that passion back, that excitement back, telling your story and how you got to different places, how you came to different revelations and different conclusions, that's how you excite other people. And they may not completely follow your path, but you give them that compunction to follow their own heart into their own wilderness, It's like by being the leader, a true leader creates more leaders. A true leader doesn't create followers. A true leader, by example and by venturing forth and listening to their heart as their authority, helps to awaken others to the authority of their own hearts so that they become their own leaders. So by exploring, by venturing out, even if people think you're weird or crazy, you are going to some place that no one else has ever been. You're bringing light into the darkness, making known the unknown, okay? So the other thing about Wolf, like in the picture here, Wolf gets his power from Grandmother Moon. And so Wolf and all canines tend to be seen as masculine, whereas like felines, for comparison, tend to be seen as feminine, right? So Wolf as the masculine gets his power from the divine feminine. That is a healthy masculine. It is giving form to the formless. Wolf listens to the inspiration of Grandmother Moon and then acts upon it, making physical, giving form to the formless inspiration, listening to his intuition as far as which trail to follow and which one not to. And so the masculine holds space for that divine feminine. It's the divine feminine that fuels the divine masculine. So whether you're a woman or a man, you still have both masculine and feminine in you, and it is the feminine that is the basis of our being, that is the inspiration, that is the formless imagination and possibilities, and it's the masculine that gives form to those. So it's a very balanced existence. The other thing about Wolf, like all canines, Wolf is a guardian. You know, like anyone who's had dogs before knows that a dog needs a job. A dog needs to know what their parameters are. If a dog doesn't have a specific job, they will become anxious, they might become depressed, they might go crazy because they don't know what their focus is. They are guardians. They need something to be a guardian of. And so as the explorer, the teacher, you are the guardian of that wisdom. And it is up to you to bring that wisdom to others, to open. You are the guardian, you are the gatekeeper. And it is your responsibility to share that wisdom if and when it is appropriate, and to, as one who has already been there, to hold space for those who are venturing forward. Does that make sense? Like, how do I put it? It's also about boundaries, you know. Oh, okay, cool, thank you. So as the guardian and the gatekeeper, you're the one that holds the boundaries. And you, by listening to your intuition and inspiration from the divine feminine, know who to allow into that territory and who to turn back. And in that way, you're not only guarding that border between those two spaces. You're guarding that space, you're guarding that wisdom, and you're also safeguarding the people who are not ready to venture into that yet. You know, this is like the biblical saying of, you know, we don't cast pearls before swine, right? And so some people are ready to go, some people aren't. And so you're that guardian, again, that stoic guardian standing in stillness. And you recognize we don't volunteer our wisdom unless we're asked. And so we, in that way, we know who to allow into our pack and who to stay away from or to keep back, to hold that boundary. I hope that makes sense. That was the first time that that's ever come to me. And I'm still a little groggy because I fell asleep before this whole thing, so I'm hoping that makes sense. But anyway, so those are your three cards. Number 1 was Blue Heron. Number 2 is Horse. And number 3 was the Wolf. So, and I think we can do a quick guided meditation. Let me grab my drum real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. La 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 la. All right, and I'm back. All right. So, like I said, everything I say here to your ears is hearsay. It's secondhand knowledge, right? And so, my goal is the empowerment of everyone that I help, that I teach, that I speak to. And so, to help empower you to make this more than just secondhand knowledge, I'm going to lead you on a little guided meditation, guided shamanic journey to go to a place where we can invite whichever animal or one of the animals that came in for you tonight, and you can meet them and get their message for you directly. So I'm just going to drum softly as we do this. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Hold it for a moment and let it go. And take another deep breath. Hold it for a moment and let it go. Feel yourself relaxing, let go of the world. You are here in this moment, in this space, safe and protected. And now bring your awareness to your third eye in the middle of your forehead, and just like it were one of your other eyes, open it up into your imagination and find yourself on the edge of a forest. The trees are to your back. You feel the coolness of the trees, the song of the birds behind you, and in front of you is a vast meadow, tall grasses blowing in the wind, watching the waves of the wind currents through those tall grasses, hearing the buzz of the insects back and forth, the bees and the dragonflies darting hither and yon, and you feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And in the center of this meadow, you see a great flat rock, just begging to be sat upon. So you make your way through the grass, feeling it brush against your legs, against the tips of your fingers, listening to the buzz of the insects and the bubbling of a creek you notice as you near the rock, a creek that flows gently nearby. And when you get to the rock, go ahead and crawl up, sit on it, finding it so comfortable. This rock is so welcoming. You feel the sun-warmed stone beneath you, the warmth of the sun on the top of your head above you, and the breeze gently nestling your face, cooling you to the right temperature. All is well in your world. And as we sit here on this stone with curiosity and excitement, we invite whichever animal came to visit this week, whichever animal has volunteered to walk with you through this week, to encourage you, to strengthen you, to empower you. They may come from the river, from the sky, from the woods, from the grass. We invite them in, and in they shall come. And when you see the animal and it comes to you, welcome it. Thank it for coming, for answering your call, and for volunteering to be your guide, to be your friend through this week. You can pet them under the chin, scratch them behind the ear, whatever is appropriate to welcome them. And now I'm going to be quiet for a moment or two. And this is your opportunity to ask them, what is your personal message for me? Why did you volunteer to walk with me? What gift do you bring? So I will be silent for a minute or two and let you two converse. So it comes time to bid farewell to our animal friends for the moment, knowing they are always with us, that they can be called upon at any moment. You can always return to this place in your own meditations, your own musings, and connect with the animal again, or any other animal that may wander in to get your attention. But for now, we bid them farewell. Again, thank them for coming. You can pet them on the head, scratch them under the chin, hug them, whatever is appropriate. You can give them a gift, whatever they might seem to enjoy, and then thank them and say goodbye for now. As they retreat, returning from whence they came, it's time to focus again on your physical body. Let this rock that you are sitting upon become the chair or the floor or the couch, whatever you are sitting in the room, wherever you are. Bring your awareness back slowly to your physical body, becoming aware of what's around you. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. You can tap on your legs. Bring yourself fully back into your physical body in three-dimensional reality. And when you are ready, slowly and at your own pace, feel free to open your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for taking that journey with me. I love doing that. I actually helped someone today, one of the readings I did, the woman wanted to know what her spirit animal was, so I did that with her this morning. It was really, I love when people's faces light up when they get to actually meet their own personal animal guides. It's amazing, so I hope that was helpful for you. And on the off chance that you didn't receive anything, number one, don't limit yourself by expectations. Some people expect to see it in brilliant colors and everything, right? But some people don't receive things visually. Some people hear things. Some people just feel things. Some people get downloads of information. They'll get full sentences and paragraphs. So be open to whatever way you receive, whatever is your natural modality for receiving information from spirit. And if you didn't get anything yet, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the conversations around you. They may speak to you differently than is in this meditation. And when we are done, I am going to share this to my Facebook page, as well as upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So it's always here. If you want to fast forward to the part where I have my drum, you can go through this visualization again and try to connect again. But whether you connect it or not, know that they are there. Know that they are with you. And it might be just a disconnect or some expectations you have that is blocking that conversation, that communication. So just be gentle with yourself. Don't judge yourself. There is no getting this wrong. And everybody can do this. Know that you are capable, that you have the ability to do this. This is one of the things, one of the most natural things there is. In fact, that's one of my missions in life, is to demystify shamanism. Let's normalize talking to our spirit guides. Let's normalize all of that and let people know that it's not weird to get intuitive hits, that it's not weird to know something before it happens, to be able to connect, to get answers from your spirit guides, to get answers from the spirits. It's not weird, it's not wrong, it's natural. Everybody has spirit guides, everybody has ancestors, guardian angels, watching over them, guiding them. You are so, so safe in this life. And you are so, so loved. It's overwhelming, like inconceivable. Inconceivable how safe and loved you actually are. So I hope that was helpful. Again, if you enjoyed this, consider coming to see me personally for a personal reading. When we do a personal reading, you get 5 cards at least, all directed at you, like a snapshot of what's going on in your life right now, guidance for what you need to focus on or whatever. And I love doing that so much. And you can connect with me either through my Facebook page, you can message me, or you can connect with me through my website at perchingwolfstudios.net. And we can get something set up. Like I said, we can do it in person or Zoom. If you're not local, we can do a Zoom call. I also do shamanic coaching. If you've got some situations in your life that you can't figure out, that you would like a shamanic perspective on, I can help find the purposes underneath what's going on. I can help you discern what the pathways are to get where you're going. And I do shamanic healing, soul retrievals, etc. So check out my website, see what shamanic services I offer there that might interest you, that might resonate with you. I just lost my train of thought. I was going to say so. Oh, if you're still looking for a last-minute holiday gift, check out my website. I have a shop on there. There's links to, I have a series of graphic novels I've drawn. I'm also a cartoonist. So there's some graphic novels and a couple of coloring books that you can order. If you're local, I have copies on hand at my office in Renton, so let me know and I can have those ready for you to come pick up. There's a link there to mugs and t-shirts with some of my artwork, some of my comics on them, which make great gifts. And also, if you know someone else that might like a reading or some healing or whatever, I also do gift certificates. And get them now, because come the beginning of the new year, I'm going to be raising my prices a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. So get them while the getting's good. And follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. What else? I've got a couple of blogs, goldenthreadroad.blogspot.com, which I'm going to try to, I haven't written on there for a while, but I'm really feeling that nudge to be writing again. And also drawingbreath-comic.blogspot.com, and I will have those in the description under this video. But that is my blog where I upload the comics that I'm working on. So you can read years and years worth of my comics there. And if you enjoyed this, if you feel so moved, I also gratefully accept donations. My PayPal link is down below as well. Feel free to throw a couple bucks my way. I so appreciate that. Of course, this is free. There is no requirement to pay, but I am willing to receive if you are willing to exchange energy in that way. I'll put it that way. So thank you so much. And thank you for joining me for another Monday medicine card reading, mini medicine card reading. And happy solstice, happy holidays, whatever festival of light you celebrate this time of the year, blessed whatever. And tomorrow is solstice. It's the shortest day, it's the shortest day of the year. But from this point forth, that day starts getting longer and longer until it's light until 11 o'clock at night. Well, in some places at least. But anyway, so never fear the darkness, and as sure as day follows night, the light will always come. So that is not only a hope, that is a promise from someone who has been in the darkest of places. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you. Welcome if you were new. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll rejoin us next Monday night at 8 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock, Monday nights, every Monday. We'll be here doing these. And if you're interested, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, I also do another Facebook Live video of the Sacred Pipe Ceremony. I hold space for an hour through the Sacred Pipe Ceremony for people to connect, to experience that stillness, to experience that connectedness to Spirit, and to send our prayers and our intentions on the smoke of the tobacco beings that go straight to Great Spirit. So if that sounds good to you, join me Wednesday night. Otherwise, I hope to see you Monday night. Please share this video. If there's others who might get something out of it, share it far and wide. Invite your friends next week, and have a wonderful holiday this week, whatever you celebrate. And I will see you at the beginning of next week. So until then, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. All right. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful holiday. Go shining. All right. Bye.